Broncos cut Russell Wilson. It's not official yet, obviously. The new year starts next week. So once that happens, they're going to let Russell Wilson go. Here's the thing. Let's start off with this. Why are why did they get rid of him? Let's start there. Why did they get rid of Russell Wilson to begin with? I mean, was he that bad? I thought he had a decent year last year. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. But why did they get rid of him? So it's just crazy. And no, it's not actually official because the new league year hasn't started yet. So you can't cut somebody until the new league year starts, my man. So no, it's not official. But why did they get rid of him? I mean, Peyton wants to. I mean, first of all, have you all ever seen a head coach treat a quarterback that way publicly? I mean, at every opportunity, Sean Payton was just bashing the guy. Every opportunity. Jiminy Christmas. Never seen anything like that in professional sports. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, if you didn't like him, which clearly he didn't like him, that's fine. But, whoo, Lord have mercy. And here's a good point over on YouTube. Darren Howard says, I don't hate anybody enough to hand over $85 million. I mean, that's what the Broncos have to eat, $85 million over the next 2 years. I mean, how do you build a competitive roster? Lord have mercy. So I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Somebody on TikTok saying, well, in all fairness, they asked Peyton asked to be coach hard, coach Russell Wilson hard. There's coaching somebody hard and then publicly embarrassing somebody. You can coach me hard and yell and scream and do all of that. That doesn't require public humiliation. That's not what coaching hard equals. That's not what that equals. So it's just crazy that he would coach him that way. It's just wild. And you're right. A lot of people on TikTok, a lot of people are saying, yeah, Russ handled it better than I would. Absolutely. You can't just treat me any kind of way. Just because it clearly Peyton didn't want him to be the quarterback. I mean, that flat out. But for you then to just embarrass me at every single step. And if you notice, even when Russ got it going and was playing well, you never really heard Sean Payton say that he was playing well. You never really heard him say that. He never said, oh, man, he's playing good. Russ did his thing today. Oh, man, we wouldn't have won without Russ. He never went out of his way to compliment him. It was just anytime he made a mistake, he was on his head. Lord, have mercy. What's going on, Zach? We appreciate you, man. Thanks for the gift. So it's just weird that he would treat him that way. Like I said, Russ wasn't great, especially the year before. He was terrible. He was terrible the year before. Now, part of that was the coaching was god awful. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett had no business being a head coach. That's why I always think it's funny that people were willing to give Nathaniel Hackett a job, but you weren't willing to give Eric Bieniemy a job. That's weird. That's really weird to me. But whatever. But Russ was awful that season. I don't care how bad the coaching was. You don't have to play that bad. You don't have to play that bad. And he did. He played pathetic. Moved to a new year, new coach, new staff, new system. Russ comes in, and from the very beginning, now some of the stuff that Russ was doing, getting his own parking spot, having his own office. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? That's Denver. But here's the thing. If you remember, it was different ownership that gave Russ all that. Different regime, different GM, different head coach. They gave Russ all that. And then Sean Payton comes in and says, absolutely not. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And yeah, some people on TikTok, you're saying, why didn't they trade him? Nobody's trading for that. There is no team in the National Football League that was going to trade and have to pay Russell Wilson that kind of money. Nobody's doing that. Nobody. So, I mean, this is the end result. I've never seen a team want to eat eight. This is the record for dead money. $85 million over 2 years. Whew. I mean, that's basically saying the Broncos are not going to be good for 2 years because you're eating up that kind of cap space that you can't pay guys. That just has to sit there on your salary cap. Split it in half. That's fine. Whatever. I mean, because that's what they're doing. So you got to eat that money over 2 years that you can't pay other guys to be on your team. It's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I would suspect the Broncos aren't very good for the next 2 years because of that. That's what I would suspect. Just terrible, man. Man. And my man Darren Howard on YouTube said they gave Peyton all the power and he's abusing it. Yeah, that's right. They gave him all the power, and here we go. And there's nothing that the Broncos coach they can do about it. The ownership is like, you gave him that contract, and here we go. Whew. I don't know, man. I don't know. But let's switch the focus on what happened with Russ to where the best fit for Russ is. A lot of people are saying Atlanta. Maybe. I don't put past New England or Washington, even if he's just a bridge quarterback for both places. I don't put it past that. I think those would be good fits. Be a bridge, mentor somebody. And maybe that's what Russ is in this point of his career. Maybe he's a bridge quarterback, unless he can prove otherwise. Some people are saying Chicago. No, not Chicago. Chicago's in a position where they're going to draft the guy because they're going to trade Justin Fields. They're going to draft the guy. Chicago's trying to win now. And they're in a position where they can win now. Russ wouldn't fit into that. But the other two places, they have no illusions of trying to win right now. The Patriots are rebuilding. Washington is rebuilding. Seems like Washington has been rebuilding forever. So we'll see what happens with all of that. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I don't know about Atlanta. People keep throwing out Atlanta or Pittsburgh. For my Steelers, I don't know that I want Russ. I don't think he would be a bad fit. He's definitely better than what we got. Let me be clear. He's better than Baby Hands. He's better than Mason Rudolph. So he's better than what we got. But we'll see. Atlanta might be it because I can tell you this. If Russ played the way that he played last year and he's on the Falcons win that division. Period. End of story. The Falcons win that division. Maybe going away because I think they have at least two, maybe three more wins with Russ as their quarterback. So I think Atlanta might actually be the spot because Atlanta's ready to win right now. Atlanta's ready to win. And they were ready to win last year. But somehow they thought that Desmond Ritter, was going to be the answer at quarterback. It's just, oh my gosh. Horrible decisions. Horrible. Not even bad. Horrible decisions. And Atlanta Falcons fans had to pay the price for that. They had to watch their team give up leads, not be able to score enough points. When the defense played fine, the offense could do nothing because you had bad quarterback play. Bad quarterback play, man. So, and here's the thing. It must be an epidemic now where coaches are like, look, if my job's on the line, I'm going to start calling it what it is and not giving as much coach speak. Because you saw Raheem Morris come out and say, hey, man, I wouldn't even be in Atlanta if we had better quarterback play. I love it. Coaches are just coming out and saying, hey, You're bad. And I agree with it because if your job's on the line, be honest. Be honest. Don't give us the coach speak stuff. Just be honest and tell them, hey, they would have been good last year had they had good quarterback play. But if they didn't, now I got hired. I'm going to make sure we get some better quarterbacks in here. Good for him, man. But the Falcons got to figure it out. I think that's the best spot for Russ. I think it's the best spot for Russ. Atlanta. They're ready to win. He's competent, regardless of what people think. He's a competent quarterback. You know, now, if you all heard, I don't know if any of y'all heard today, we got to get RG3 off the gummies. We got to get that man off the wacky weed because he said today that you can't compare Russell Wilson to Tom Brady, but you can compare Russell Wilson to Peyton Manning. I said, huh? What? And the people on the set were flabbergasted. I'm like, hold on, RG3. I get that Russ is your guy. You like Russ. Y'all must be friends. And I understand that. But are you trying to tell me that you're going to compare Russell Wilson to Peyton Manning, that they're the same guy? Oh, man. I just, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane what they will put on TV. And look, I like RG3. I definitely like him when he's calling college games because he'll just say anything. And maybe this is part of it. He's just saying anything to get some kind of response. I get that as far as television, but you don't have to be that clickbaitish on TV, man. Come on. Jiminy Christmas. But it is what it is. I think Russ going there, I think it would be good. I think it would be good. So, yeah, it just I think he would be good in Atlanta. I think Atlanta can make something happen. I really do with Russ. I think they can make something happen. So, my man Darren Howard said, "Hey man, RG3 click hunting at this point." Yeah, man, come on. You don't have to say stuff like that. We get that he might be your boy and all this, but RG3, you're already relevant. You're already on ESPN, bro. You don't have to do this. You don't have to be clickbaitish. Nobody's going to forget you. Just give us what you give us. But don't, now you're losing credibility trying to compare Russell Wilson to Peyton Manning. Now your credibility is shot because nobody can take you seriously. You're saying stupid stuff like that. You better stop. You better stop. That's all I'm saying.